Hey, so today we are going to be discussing excuses, challenges, and perspective. So, a lot of the thoughts and things that I have, especially around the excuses piece of this, are actually coming from the Quote of the Day show. It's a podcast that I listened to this week while I was running. It's called The Quote of the Day Show. It's by Sean Croxton. This is coming from episode 495, and it was with Robin Sharma. So it was a snippet of one of her talks on there. And she was just talking a little bit about what we say and repeat to ourselves as far as our excuses go. If we recite them enough, if we repeat them enough, if we say them enough to ourselves, that eventually we begin to believe them. So with your excuses, whether it's I'm exhausted or I'm too tired or I don't have time or I don't have enough time, it's too hard or I'm too little or I'm too big or whatever excuses that we put out there, if we say those things enough to ourselves, eventually we're going to begin to believe them. We're going to believe it as truth. So that spoke to me like something crazy. I was like, okay, Jenny, all these excuses you give, whether it's because I'm too tired and I don't want to get out of bed to go work out, or I'm too sore from yesterday's workout, or I don't have time, I have too many other things that I need to get done. Eventually I'm going to begin to believe those things if I continue to recite them enough. So that was something that really spoke to me. So hopefully hearing that will definitely help there. If you're wanting more, she goes more in depth with that on the Quote of the Day show podcast, so go check that out if you're wanting more information and to go a little bit deeper with that. So just to kind of dive in there for a minute, I want you to think about whatever it is that you've been putting off, whatever it is that you haven't started. Why haven't you started it? What's the reason that you give? Because if your response is an excuse and you keep telling yourself that over and over and over again, you're going to begin to believe it as truth eventually. So just be mindful of your excuses. Be mindful as to what you're speaking over yourself, because it truly does have an impact and it does make a difference. And don't get me wrong, we all have challenges, we all have reasons, we all have things that can or do get in the way, or they hold us back. But is that the end all be all? That's really what I challenge you to look at and think about. Is this really the end all be all? Is this something that I have control over that I can change? Is this something that I can work on to improve? If I'm too tired, what can I do about that? Do I need to go to bed earlier? Do I need to sleep in a little bit longer? Do I need to delegate things? Just thinking about, where do I have control? Where can I make some changes? Because I think that really does make a difference, and it's going to help you with your excuses. The next thing is sometimes with perspective, with the excuses, with the challenges piece of it, all of that. Sometimes we need perspective, whether it's our own perspective or sometimes it takes someone else giving us some perspective, kind of seeing it externally and then being able to give us some feedback or talk us through that so that we can get past it, so that we can actually see it from someone else's eyes and be able to say, okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe that is an excuse, or okay, maybe it is a legit challenge, but I do have some control over it. There's some things that I can do to move beyond it. And one of the things that we're talking about in our WW workshops this week, it kind of plays right into this, is perspective. It's talking about the growth versus fixed mindset. And with any challenge you're facing, just being able to kind of take a step back and so say, okay, do I have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset about this? Am I looking at this as, okay, there's some opportunity here, I can learn, I can grow, I can change from this challenge or whatever it is that I'm being faced with, or that excuse? Or do I have a fixed mindset with this? Do I feel like I'm stuck, that I can't change it, that it's out of my control, there's nothing that I can do? And that's going to be a fixed mindset. And we can transition and go from that fixed to that growth mindset. But we have to be willing to look at the areas and be honest with ourselves of, okay, where can I grow? Where can I change? How could this be an opportunity as opposed to being something that I'm stuck in that I have no control over? So that's really what I'm going to challenge you with, is to really look at it and see if you can start to get that perspective of that growth mindset as opposed to the fixed mindset of being stuck or feeling like I can't do anything about it. What do you have control over? And with that, being able to, what's one thing, whatever your excuse is, whatever is holding you back, whatever the roadblock or the challenge is, really look at what is one thing that I can do right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not 3 Mondays from now, whatever. What's something that I can do right now today to get past that roadblock, to get past that challenge, or to start moving past that roadblock. Maybe it's not something that you'll get past today, but how can I start to have improvement? How can I start to see change? How can I start to have a little bit more control and take control of what I have control of? Because some things we do have control over, some things we don't. But looking and being honest with yourself of, okay, where do I have control, and where can I focus that and take that to be able to move forward? Because we have to be willing to do our part, to do what we can to get us past that roadblock or past that challenge, or we're going to be stuck there. It is going to be something that we don't get beyond. And think about the past. When have you gotten past a challenge or a roadblock before? What helped you get past that challenge or that roadblock, so that you don't have to feel like you're stuck in whatever it is that's going on right now? Alright, so again, today was all about excuses, challenges, perspective. I challenge you to work on your perspective. Whatever it is that's going on around you, and believe me, I know we're all going through different things, and maybe where you are is really hard. I get that. But just be willing to shine some light on it. Where can I get beyond this? How can I get beyond or get past this? Okay. Thank you for joining me. I hope you got something out of this. If this is something you're interested in or enjoyed, hit subscribe, share with your friends. I would appreciate that so much. Again, thank you. I appreciate you taking your time to be here. I hope you have a great rest of the week and a happy Thursday. I'll see you guys later. See ya.